just nearby. All right. But what does a sandy foundation represent? It denotes a loose foundation, an empty profession, and only an external religion. Sand foundations are shifting. They're uncertain people. People who have sandy foundations in the church. They love praise. They need to be pampered. They'll quit the church if you forget to call their name. And they always want to get paid for what they do. Sandy foundation folks. This second house in the parable, even though it was impressive, this second sand house, even though it was impressive, it was without a foundation. And so therefore it was doomed for failure. People with sandy foundations build their hopes only on external blessings. You don't want to marry somebody with a sandy foundation and marrying you for external purposes only. You might look like a Coca-Cola bottle now, but you want that rascal to love you when you turn to a leader. And if all he's about is foundation sand and external foundations, when you start to get a little chubby, oh, you know I'm telling the truth. Notice here, if you will, that both houses looked attractive and they looked substantial. And as the respective houses went up, the materials were their best for both houses. Both houses looked firm and both houses looked strong. What is life, saints, but a building up of character? A building up of habits and memories, expectations. Life is a series of powers and a series of weaknesses. Like stone on stone. We add one thing to another in building this house of life. Our desire should be that what we build will be secure. Good people who are not in the Lord, they appear to be built well and feel that their houses are well and wisely built. For their houses are built on money, friends, health, success. All of these are commendable in themselves, but they are disastrous without the rock foundation of Jesus Christ. But then there are others who build their houses a little different by adding to the powers of service their knowledge of God, their victories over their faults, their joys and their hopes. They become palaces fit for God. Just as sure as we build our houses, testing times, church, are coming. Summer suns won't shine always. Whether we are wise or foolish, the strains of life will come to all of us one day. There are those that teach that if you're saved, you'll never get in any kind of dilemmas. But that's out of the Bible, because Job, the Bible said, was a perfect and an upright man. And even he experienced difficulties. Troubles are coming. Whether you are wise or foolish, they're coming in the forms of afflictions, disappointments, losses. They're saved folk that have lost money on the stock market. The recession, we don't like to say it, but the recession has affected the saints also. We just have not been forsaken. Where we used to eat steak 3 times a week, we eating steak now once a month. Whether or not we acknowledge it, saints face temptations, fears. We entertain the thoughts of dying and what life is like beyond this earth. The wind and the rain and the floods represent collectively the violence of persecutions and of sufferings, beneath which all of life rests. There is one true foundation that will never give away. We should build our lives, saints, and our character homes as a builder builds a building. The foundations of our lives ought to be dug down deep. The reason so many lives go to pieces is because the foundations are bad. I used to think that preaching was pulling my ear and getting excited. But I found out other words. You want to give your child a foundation. That's right. Things alone won't give your child character. Buying them all the games and everything they want, that's fine, but you need to instill some character. You need to give them a foundation. Oh, to God that we had parents today who would go to their children's palatial mansions, look in their driveway at their Mercedes and Porsches, and walk in the wonderful homes that are air-conditioned in 7 and 8 and 10 bedrooms. Oh, that we had saints, mothers, who would walk in those homes and admire them, but then break out in tears. And look at your son and ask him, son, all this is fine, but are you saved? Let him know, son, one day I'm going to die, and if you want to see me again, you can't see me with these things. You got to be saved. Woo. When we were coming up, they put a foundation under us.